Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, MLB, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
What's up, family? Welcome back to Zone 6 Picks. Today we're breaking down two WNBA games, starting with the matchup between the Atlanta Dream and the LA Sparks going down Wednesday, September 3rd here in the ATL. But before we get into that, let me just say this. We're coming off a back-to-back sweep. That's 10-1 in our last 11 picks. That speaks to the level of dedication that goes into bringing the zone the best possible picks. So let's keep this momentum heating up. The spread for this game sits at -6.5 in favor of the Dream, and we're going to dig into recent form, ATS records, key players, and all the numbers to figure out who's covering and who's cashing us out tonight. The Dream come into this one riding some serious momentum. They've won 7 of their last 10 games, including 4 of their last 5, and have been one of the strongest teams against the spread all year. They've covered in 6 of their last 7 games and sit at an impressive 26-14 ATS overall, with an 11-8 mark at home. That kind of consistency is what separates the reliable betting teams from the risky ones. The Sparks, on the other hand, have been far less dependable. Sure, they've managed a 5-5 record over their last 10 games and are on a 2-game winning streak. But when it comes to covering spreads, they've been ice cold. Just 1 cover in their last 8 outings. The only thing working in their favor is a decent run on the road, where they've covered 6 of their last 9 away games. But overall, this has been a tough team to back with confidence. Now let's talk players. For the Dream, Taylor Thierry is out, and Alicia Gray is questionable with a knee injury. If she can't go, that does take away one of Atlanta's better perimeter defenders and shooters. On the Sparks side, Rickea Jackson is day-to-day, but her status doesn't carry quite the same weight. Even if Gray misses, Atlanta has shown they've got enough depth to still compete at a high level, and their system isn't dependent on one player. Statistically, the Dream on a defensive edge. They're holding opponents to just 77.1 points per game on the season, and that number dips to 72.8 over their last 10. They limit turnovers better than the Sparks, 11.3 compared to LA's 14.7, and they dominate the glass, averaging 36.3 boards a night versus 33.2 for the Sparks. Atlanta slows the pace, defends hard, and forces opponents to play their style of basketball. The Sparks can score, putting up just over 86 points a game, but their defense hasn't kept up. They give up too many easy looks, send teams to the line too often, and simply don't match Atlanta's discipline on that end. Head-to-head history also leans Dream. They've taken 4 of the last 5 meetings straight up and against the spread, including their most recent clash back in May, when Atlanta pulled off an 88-82 win and covered. This team has a blueprint for beating LA, and it's hard to ignore that kind of consistency in a direct matchup. Both squads come in on equal rest, so no edge there, but the Dream are at home, and the Sparks have to travel cross-country into a tough environment. The line has hovered around -6.5 to -7.5. which tells us the books see value in Atlanta, and the Sharps haven't rushed in heavy on the Sparks despite their public support. That stability is usually a sign that the market respects what the Dream are doing. So where's the pick? I'm rolling with the Atlanta Dream to cover the -6.5. Their defense, ATS consistency, and proven success against the Sparks all point in the same direction. I've got ATL controlling the pace, dominating the boards, and locking down late to get it done. Projected final score, Atlanta Dream 89, LA Sparks 80. That's a 9-point win and a comfortable cover for Atlanta. Next, we take a ride to O Block. No, I'm playing haha. We're still in the Chi-Town, though, where the Connecticut Sun and the Chicago Sky are set to battle at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. The Sky come into this one as slight favorites at -1.5. But after digging into the numbers, recent trends, and key matchups, I believe the Connecticut Sun are better positioned to cover the spread and grab the outright win. The Connecticut Sun have been showing more resilience in their recent stretch of games. They've taken 5 of their last 10 overall, and continue to hold a strong record against the spread this season, sitting at 22-18 ATS. More importantly, they've been reliable when playing away from home, going 11-8 ATS on the road, even though they dropped a tough one to Atlanta recently. Their body of work over the last few weeks shows steady improvement, particularly on the defensive end. The Chicago Sky, on the other hand, are in a slump they can't seem to shake. They've dropped 9 of their last 10 games and have been especially poor at home, with a 5-game losing streak in Chicago. Against the spread, they've been unreliable all season, holding an 18-21 record overall and just 7-13 ATS at home. Those numbers highlight the inconsistency that bettors have struggled with when it comes to backing the Sky. Player availability is also a major factor in this matchup. The Sky are missing key pieces, with both Haley Van Lith and Courtney Vandersloot out, and the loss of Vandersloot in particular, with her ACL injury, takes away a huge chunk of their playmaking and leadership in the backcourt. For the Sun, Bria Hartley is out, and Olivia Nelson-Ododa is questionable. But Connecticut has shown they can absorb those absences and still play at a high level. When we look at the numbers, both teams have dealt with challenges on offense and defense, but the Suns' defensive improvement in recent weeks stands out. Over their last 10 games, they rank 6th in defensive rating, and that's critical against a Chicago team that has consistently been near the bottom in offensive efficiency. The Sun are putting up around 78 points per game in their recent stretch, while holding opponents to just over 80, and that balance gives them a chance to control games late. The Sky, meanwhile, are averaging only 74 points in their last 10 while giving up 85. That gap between production and defensive stability has been the story of their season. Head-to-head history leans strongly in Connecticut's favor. They've taken 8 of the last 10 meetings overall, and have already beaten the Sky twice this season. That includes a 94-84 win in Chicago back in August, where they covered as underdogs. When one team consistently finds success against another, it often points to a matchup advantage that carries forward. Both teams enter with equal rest, but the supposed edge of home court really doesn't apply here. The Sky are just 5-15 straight up in their own building, while Connecticut has been steady on the road all year. That flips the advantage right back to the Sun despite the setting. Putting it all together, the Sun have the momentum, the matchup history, and the defensive improvement to make them the stronger side here. The Sky's struggles at home, combined with their significant injuries, only reinforce the case. My pick is the Connecticut Sun to cover the plus 1.5 spread or win outright on the money line. The choice is yours, good people. Projected final score, Connecticut Sun 80, Chicago Sky 75. That gives the Sun a 5-point victory and a comfortable cover. Okay, family, let's go ahead and run these picks back. For the Atlanta Dream versus LA Sparks matchup, the pick is Atlanta to cover the minus 6.5 spread. Their defense, ATS consistency, and head-to-head dominance give them the edge at home. For the Connecticut Sun versus Chicago Sky, the pick is Connecticut to cover the plus 1.5 spread and win outright. The Suns' improved defense, road ATS record, and dominance in this series make them the stronger side. Zone 6 family, that's 2 official plays on the board. We're coming off back-to-back sweeps, and now we're locked in chasing the triple. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your best bet in the comments. Let's keep cashing tickets, trust the process, and as always, let's feast.